This is Corey Ashley, and you are listening to Brooklyn Baritone. Thank you very much for lending me your time and your ears as you listen to a 2-cent segment on my brooklynbaritone.com website, where it's aptly named because I'm giving my 2 cents, basically my opinions based on my own experiences and knowledge. So hopefully you can gain some kind of value out of it. It may help you while you're vacuuming right now. Hopefully I don't put you to sleep. You can also check my other works on YouTube, Vimeo, Instagram, and Twitter. Today, I just want to talk about something on my mind that people around me know. I use a term called Normalcy Bias. You can check that out in the search engine of Google. I also call it AKA Complacent Compromise. Basically, Normalcy Bias is when you know something isn't right, but you're not really doing anything to change it. A situation could be wrong, or it could be something immediate or something that you're just used to, but you're doing nothing positively to change it. That could be easily stem from someone complaining about something in their job, complaining about something in their life, or they could actually see things around them that people are not acting a certain way in their family, at work, or out in the street, and you're not really doing anything about it, and you're being directly affected by it, whether you realize it or not. I also like the term complacent compromise because that's exactly what it is. People become very complacent and they compromise values because they're comfortable. It's best reflected in the kind of foods that we eat. I'm going to use that for a brilliant example. Where we know, most of us, we consume so much things that are wrong for us. We know it's wrong. Going to Cinnabon all the time. People always utilize this, but they still do. Go to McDonald's when they're not supposed to. Consuming alcohol on the regular, smoking. A lot of foods we eat, a lot of high sugary things that's high, of course, in salts. This is bad for you. We know it's bad, but we continue to do it. But we have all of the tools and the reports and the statistics that are around us. Many of us have that impacted negatively in our own lives. Whether we have to go through taking insulin shots, where we have high blood pressure, where we're overweight, we have migraines, we're constantly sick, we have people who are in the hospital through cancer, through heart disease, through many, many things, a myriad of things that basically are a direct result of what we do because we're comfortable and we even know better, but we don't want to do better. That's normalcy bias. So with those examples that I've used, yes, cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, all these things, that should at least cement the danger involved with having normalcy bias or being complacent and compromising something better for us. That should at least hit the nail on the head with a lot of people. Because a lot of things that we do and we allow cause a downfall. So if we can just think about just the physical aspect of it, now start to think about the mental and the spiritual aspect of it. The things that we don't really pay attention to, the things that we don't really see because it's not in front of us, and at the same time it is in front of us. When you look at how people treat each other, we look at the movies, television shows, what they portray. You could say reflects real life, but that's a sad thing if real life is about a lot of negativity, a lot of promiscuity, a lot of abuse emotionally of people, where people are very materialistic, people are nasty. So if that's a reflection of who we are, then I think we have to look really hard and long in the mirror and ask ourselves, really, what are we allowing us to go through? What are we allowing children that we're supposed to care for to go through? What kind of legacy are we leaving for us down the road and those after us? What does it say when we curse all the time? We accept cursing all the time. It's called a curse for a reason. Something negative, just something foul coming from your mouth. What happens when doctors tell us, people tell you, you do research, you hear it, that you shouldn't smoke, but we still do it. We know it's bad for us, but we still do it. We're comfortable with it. To the point where we're so comfortable, yes, some people do form an addiction to it. And it's not just cigarettes, alcohol, or drug abuse. People become addicted to watching television. We all know that a lot of us are addicted to social media and being on our smartphones, iPhones, Android devices, our tablets, our computers. A lot of people are addicted to that. They have to always see a new, fresh post of something. We're also addicted to workaholics. The reason why that term is an actual term now, workaholic. Because most people, a lot of people who are workaholics, they do it because that's their only thing that they think they know how to do well in their life, and they put all their energy and time into it and neglecting everything else. So addiction can be many different things, not just certain things. It can be sexual addictions, and we become so complacent to it, it becomes normalcy bias, where it's normal to us. And the problem is we don't know how to separate something when it's normal for us because it's practiced over and over again. It's embedded in us from other people, from what we're around, from what we're exposed to over and over and over again. It becomes basically indoctrinated into us, where we think it's okay now because we're so used to it and everybody else does it. So what's the big problem? And there is a big problem, where we have to really take a step back and look at what we're doing to ourselves and to each other. Where we have to be humble and understand that we don't make our own standards. Our standards come from something higher than us. Because if we are left alone to make our own standards, and we can see the example of that everywhere we look and go. The example of people doing what they want to do and setting their own standards of how to live and have values and their moral compass, or where that's pointed. We could see the downfall of that. You try to justify it in saying people have the right to be happy. People have the right to pursue who they are. But then you have to look at who they are. Where do they come from? What is their level of standards? What is their level of truth? Do they even have a practice of any kind of truth with them? You got to see in the long run too, it's not about feeling good. It's not just about feeling good. You can't use that as a justification. You have to have standards to go forward. And then once we have proper standards and we know that certain things are bad for us, we have to take the initiative to change that. We can't just keep going on with it. But we also can't, if we can help it, other people around us to keep going on with it as well. We are responsible for other people. Whether people believe that or not, we are responsible for people around us. Everyone has their own right to do what they want. It's free will. That's a gift that we've been given. But at the same time, if you know that someone is on a course of destruction, or there's something is not good for them, then we are charged to let a brother and sister know. I understand it's a very, you could say, slippery slope where you have to walk on eggshells when you get down that slope with people, because you don't want to rupture that relationship with somebody. But at the same time, someone's, dying, doing something bad for themselves and other people around them. Would you not want them to live better? Give them a chance, because it could be something that you can see or influence them to do positively that they may not be seeing. A lot of times, it could be better to have more than one set of eyes looking at something, because everyone sees in different perspectives. You would definitely see something that I would probably never have seen. People tell me things about myself that I've never known. And I had to actually sit, chill, let it marinate, let it sink in to know whether either improve myself in this area or I should stop doing this to make myself better. So if people care about you, they'll let you know. So we do have to be humble enough to accept that from certain people. We have to have the wisdom and the proper approach too, if we are approaching somebody, to correct them, to help them out in areas where they may seem to need help. So we have to have that skill set to know how to talk to people and identify things as well. If you have your loved one, you know that they're about to walk over a cliff, you're gonna tell them, don't go over there. There's no ground over there. Once you fall, that's it. That's like a 200-foot drop, and it's all jagged rocks on the bottom. You are going to try your best to help steer people away from that. So we have to look at that. We have to look at that in that same aspect when we're trying to go forward and improve things in life. That change that you want to see in the world, while seeing this statement repeated so much, so often, you have to start being that change. Even if no one else is doing it. But you have to know and understand, is it positive, is it constructive for yourself and others around you? You have to really see what the end results are going to be. Again, it's not just, I'm just going to do me and to hell with everybody else. You have to have wisdom, you have to have humility. Those are one of the first key things you have to do to exert that kind of power. And it is power to influence people, and even more so to influence people to a constructive, positive pathway. We have to stand up and know certain things that we may be doing personally and what we're doing collectively. A lot of things are not good. A lot of things are not good. That's because people accept it. That's what I grew up with. Everybody else does it. That's no excuse. We all have to look past what's just comfortable. And history is littered with examples of people being complacent. And then the negative impact of being complacent, especially going down a negative path. When you're positively constructive, that means you're building, you're constantly building. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new. Every day is an opportunity to become better than you were the day before. And it doesn't stop with you, it stops with everything around you. So the more you build yourself, best believe, especially if you're around people, you will be building other people up too. Whether directly with your words or indirectly by your presence and your character and your actions. So we have to be that change we want to see. A lot of people know things are wrong. Many people complain about it. A lot of people do something about it. But we have to actively, all collectively, do it. If there's a tremendous wrong happening, then we all have to come together collectively, in unison, to eradicate that wrong or to change it to something better. You can't just leave it for the next guy. So we know what we need to do. If we have negative thought, we got to change that. It may be hard, but guess what? It may be hard, but it is not impossible. We have that free will, that beautiful gift we have been given. It may be hard, but guess what? Just like how we become addicted to things, it wasn't overnight. We had a lot of practice and a lot of exposure to get to the point where we are, where something we know is bad, but we still do it, we can't shake it. That can work in reverse. We go ahead and do something positive. We have the proper mental capacity to recognize something where we need to change it, and we put our minds to it. Again, it's not overnight we get to somewhere bad where we don't want to be. We just so used to it, we don't understand how we got to this point. So now we got to work our way back out that pit. It may be slippery, but you keep trying and climbing to get better, and I guarantee you'll start to see the change. Once your mind changes and you put the perseverance for your body to follow, you're gonna get better. It's gonna suck. It's definitely gonna suck. So you get to a certain point, you gotta know where you gotta get to, where you need to get to. Keep doing it. Don't stop. Don't be complacent. Don't be complacent, and don't compromise values because of convenience or comfort. Those will kill you. It may not kill you right now, but it is killing you slowly but surely, eating away at your mind, your body, and your spirit. Conquer that. Know what's wrong. Know what you need to do. I try my best every day, so you're not going to be the only one struggling. You're not going to be the only one struggling with whatever it is you're struggling with. However you need to find that support, you do it. We got to do it. We owe it to ourselves and everyone around us, and if you have children, to our children, to be our best. Well, that's about it. Hopefully I helped somebody. I know it does help me when I get this out too as well. But I want you to keep listening. And please go to my website, brooklynbaritone.com. Leave a comment, subscribe as well. I have much more content as well. Other than my 2 cents where I give and share my opinions, I have other things too to share: photography, time lapses, and I also have local reviews. So I have more than enough, hopefully, for somebody and everybody out there. Again, till next time, check me out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Vimeo, and Rick. Talk to you soon.